volunteers, right? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, and we really have a lot of like volunteers from all over the world. I feel so good, right? Okay. And originally, we would have had like a Jew coming over, but unfortunately, his wife has to, has to be operated today. So today, we invited like one more, like a VIP here. All right, okay. So, well, therefore, we have this, coming up, okay, to you. Okay. And through such kind of changes, and we really did a lot of emergent, like emergent, switches, I say, right? Okay. And originally we had a Jincai today, and we did like a graphic designing, like you see now. Okay. So we really had a kind of a wonderful results as you see here. So today we don't have like a Kiwi, but today we have a Zhu Jincai from Zimbabwe. And you will see that Zimbabwe is in Africa, and the people just use everything they have. All right. Well, and you can see in this picture. This is when they are doing the bath. I mean the Buddha bathing ceremony there. Okay, and they were sleeping like in sleeping bags, because they are waiting. Okay, a very we say sacrifice ceremony in Zimbabwe. Okay, and let's take some looks at the videos about what they have been doing in Zimbabwe. So you will see that okay, because of the water is a very precious resources for like African people, and this is how Zhu Jincai creates affinity with them. It is really wide here, and we have been beginning to grow like a vegetables since 2018. And here, we can just grow the vegetables by ourselves, and a lot of people can just share and enjoy the food that they grow by themselves, right? And here they are digging the first well, okay, and it is a well for which okay, you can just get water, and a lot of people can just use the land, and the land was what, so that it means that they can just put vegetables there. This is a precious land dwelled by the gods. Okay, and we are so amazed by such kind of maybe we say such like a project there. Okay, and you see in Zimbabwe, you can see so many people anytime there. Okay, they are so grateful, and it is a kind of a great attempt over toward their future, and they don't worry anymore about having the water. So we talk very much about water resources. However, how do water come from? Okay, they come from the pipes made from okay steel. Okay, so how many like wells and how many water pipes has been sent there? Okay, then you will know the number. Okay, and how are the water pipes sent to Africa? So they are sent from Kaohsiung. Why Kaohsiung? Okay, let's take a close look about this. Right? Okay, and you know that we have been really grateful toward all the people craving like a infinities, and just begin doing whatever they can. And here you see all the volunteers, they are doing their best, to send the water pipes, right? Okay. And the water pipes will just get rotten, so they have to think of every way to just make sure the water could be sent without any pollution. Therefore, we send 5,200 water pipes to Zimbabwe for 100 water wells. So the water pipe symbolizes a power that will be sent to Zimbabwe. So let's just say thank you very much to Taten Steel Company. Okay. Well, and this is a film that we must watch. Okay. So, well, we have a Jincai African, but who do we speak the Jincai African to? Okay. Especially when we were in Africa. And do you know that we also, talk about genes African, also, tell the genes African to even animals and the livestock. Okay, and volunteers are, delivering the genes African to the livestock like a cows there. Okay, and so Jincai in Zimbabwe, had a team, okay, of repelling all the wells and the drilling wells and not only people need water, but also animals and other livestock need such things, right? And when I'm speaking, okay, the things everything toward all the livestock, and I feel they understand it. So under such circumstances, when we just deliver the genes everything toward all the beings, and we say sentient beings, when we were digging the wells there, okay, so we just spread the dharma by like delivering genes algorithm to the livestock as we were just digging wells. And whenever people see the water like a springing from the ground, and they are so excited and they dance so happily. And we drill like the wells, right? And before this, a lot of wells were damaged for over like 40 years, right? And it is why like people were so excited, right? When we just doing the well digging, I mean well preparing for them. Okay? And basically, it was kind of a dream for them. It was kind of mission impossible for them to just get so close to water, which was kind of precious resource for them. Okay, and it is their mission. It is a Suji volunteers' mission. Okay, to just take care of their water. So let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I like to be with you because like you have positive energy. Well, we have volunteers overseas coming back to Kaohsiung. And why? A lot of people are asking that why so many people know that who is coming from where to here. Well, this is easy. You just take a look at our agenda and our posters, and you pay some notice, pay some attention to our like information, and you will know it. Okay, and Zhu Jincai, I think you know him very well, and this is his wife. He's a very important person to him. Okay, without wife support, and then Zhu Jincai cannot do the job so well. And you know that okay, we have a kind of great affinity, and yet lives really close like to Zhu Jincai's wife in Taichung. Okay, and you see, this is therefore, they just bring their like a family members and their friends coming over. Okay, and we also have a team from Japan. Okay, and not only that, and we also have our volunteers from Shanghai, China. Okay, so please web hello to us. So this is a kind of great chance, right? That we have a lot of like volunteers on the road coming back here. So we are so excited and we receive a full of positive energies, right? So, so Jincai, Mr. Zhu, now it's your turn. Then you will begin your wonderful presentation. And should your wife be standing here today with well us too? All right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Zhu Jincai with us today. Okay, so Mr. Zhu, now it's your show time. Okay, and I will just play like a video clips for you. Honorable Mr. Jing and the Mrs. from the abode and the ladies and gentlemen all over the world today. I'm so grateful that Miss May invited me over. And when I was in Zimbabwe, and I remember that I also had a video like a conference with you. And you know that Zimbabwe is a really kind of a poor country. And when I was ready to have a video conference, to forward well, our like internet with you here, and suddenly power just went off, right? So Well, I'm sorry for that. Okay, but today since I'm here, I feel touched and I feel deeply moved here. And now I'm to present like what we have been doing in Zimbabwe.
哦，
Zimbabwe is in the like southwest, I mean southeast of Africa, and we really have like over 1,000 kilometers long the coastline. However, it is really short of water, and because the rainy season in this country is only from like November to like a February the next year. So basically, okay, the rain season is pretty short. Okay, in how big is Zimbabwe? It is probably 11 times bigger than Taiwan, and it was named by like Catherine, okay, of Africa because we had a lot of like like crops, okay, on there, okay. However, because of some politics, like the reasons and the country was therefore turned weak, was therefore like turning weak. So 20 years after that, in year probably 2000, and the government tried to confiscate the land, okay, and which well was kind of a sad news to them. So it turns out that okay, the land could be just dispatched to some people, okay, or willing to still grow. Okay. However, it took only 15% of it, right? And the government will just get like 85% of it back to themselves. Okay. And that it turns out okay, the government had almost all the land of that country, and it turns out that the older land would just turn around because nobody are willing to like do the wrong thing. So how many people are willing to just do the farming, okay, growing there? And let me tell you, only 8 households there, okay. So it was a problem for them, okay, in food. So without food, like no matter black people or white people would have to suffer the same thing. That is a famine. Okay. So you know that okay, the country therefore turned weak. Okay. And it can, okay, even worse, okay, to kind of inflation in their country. Okay. You know that in Zimbabwe, okay, $1 went to around 100 billion, like dollars in our like a country, which made our people in Zimbabwe suffer, all because of politics. So it turned into kind of a serious problem, inflation. Okay, and people suffer in Zimbabwe, and this is a tragedy there. But we are still grateful, okay, to a lot of people who are certified as a 实际 volunteer. So we have 197 certified volunteers here, and we have 3,236 people as volunteers and certified there in Zimbabwe. And because of the COVID-19, which affected the first pretty like badly, so a lot of people there all turned reluctant to serve as volunteer, which is a sad news, right? Okay, and in Zimbabwe, like we have like 9 provinces there, and it is really kind of a lucky thing that in average in the all 9 like provinces, like we have some volunteers, living there. Okay, and we have some provinces which are dry. Okay, in winter. Okay, so it is kind of bad for such weather because we don't grow like a crops really, really easily there. And there's a Zhenyan, okay, at the bridge, okay, to me that, okay, she says that I really have to do something as a feedback and bring more young people back to Zimbabwe because I run the business in their country. So this is a must for me to do something back to their society. So before that, okay, 3 years ago, I sent like a two, like a 16, I mean, young volunteers of the 10 back to I mean, back to Taiwan and studied in 10 University. And now they are sophomore students, and we have one more student who is studying Chinese in Taiwan. And as we arrived in on May 21st, okay, and I just learned that their like curriculum was settled down, and we didn't have our foreman to pass by in vain. And we did a lot in Zimbabwe. However, we don't know anything about the documentary volunteer scene, okay, in Taiwan. So thanks to all the help, okay, in Taiwan, so we learned so much about the documentation here, okay, and we are so surprised that okay, they really keep kind of a record when we were doing like the farming and the well drilling and the well repairing. And let me tell you this, well, because of a lack of water, and the people in Zimbabwe really had no idea how to grow rice, right? And it was kind of a mission impossible for them because they eat corn, okay, instead of a rice there. So, it was a kind of a big task for us, the volunteer in Zimbabwe. So we had to not only teach them how to grow rice, but also a lot more, like humanistically here. Okay. So how incredible it is that, you know, okay. So, when we were, okay, saying that to them that we need a fermentation and we need to, well, uses some kind of a like a fertilizers, and we have to keep all the crops like organic, right? Okay, and if we talk about organic farming, then it means that it would be high in cost there. Okay, so so much like the things that we don't know. Okay, so how are we going to, how can we achieve all the mission impossibles, right? And thanks to the well help from all the volunteers in Taiwan. Okay, and aside from that, let's talk about the altruism. Okay, and altruism actually is very important and easy to understand the thing for children. Okay, and we can just put this altruism in training as a games to play. Okay. So during the trip back to Taichung from Zimbabwe, they really got excited because of such training classes there. So I am so grateful to all the volunteers, okay. And the volunteers are actually teachers, like teaching our volunteers things effort in training. And what's more, the teachers didn't live in Taichung, they live in Hsinchu, so they came far away from their home just to, let us know how the training could be, okay. And we also took a kind of a trip in Da'ai Farm, and we also had a tour in like a Da'ai TV station in Guangzhou, Taipei, and they also learned that like the news reports about Zimbabwe was really not enough, right? So it was therefore a chance for them to know more about what we do in Zimbabwe, and we really, had a kind of a wonderful chance, right, to form good affinity with like Dao ITV in Guangzhou. So I believe that soon, okay, they will just get more information about Zimbabwe. Right? And of course, the journey finally will just come to Hualien, okay, and we had a lot of like practitioners there, and the monastic practitioner there, okay, guided us a lot of well, we say knowledge, some and wisdom, and all the volunteers from Zimbabwe really learned so much, right, in Hualien, in Taito, as well as Hsinchu, okay, and they learn a lot of like the techniques about how to kind of maintain or repair or just keep all the like programming going on. So students are full of energy and also went to the I farm and they just will learn a lot of knowledge about the growing, okay, in the on farm. They are so important. Okay, and as we talked about previously, okay, and now they have water because we dig wells for them, but they didn't know how to cherish water. So this trip to Taiwan really showed them how to. Okay, and so much information absorbed by us. Okay, and so much love that we receive from Tzu volunteers really get a good connection between Guardian and TK. And you see in this picture that this is like a masters in Jin's abode really showed us like how to do the level works right in like a Jin's abode. Well, and through the explanations from the masters, and we really learn something, and even any tiny things would have kind of profound meanings behind it. Well, and today I'm gonna begin my topic, and the topic is water is the great life. Okay? In Zimbabwe, it is an Indian country that you know. Okay, let me show you that how people get on water in Zimbabwe. They don't have tap water. Okay, and I think the only capital city would enjoy the tap water. But that tap of water comes in one day a week, either on Saturday or Sunday. It means that the rest of the 6 days, would be days without water. Okay, so that when water can't for the first day, then the phrase. I mean, the pressure of the water would be really strong, so it would damage some kind of devices when we get water. Okay, then you will also know that the water, as the water comes, firstly, then you will feel the water is kind of turbid and murky, and you will know the water would be like a milky white, which is kind of dirty. And can you drink that? No, no, no. It is not okay to drink. In Taiwan, never will anybody use such water even to wash your hands and show. However, in Zimbabwe, before we tried to dig a well for the people there, okay, do they really use such water? I really wonder. Okay, without water, people as well as the livestock and animals could not survive. Right? I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, so I realized that people will just get water anywhere. Okay, so it was really sad, right? And in Zimbabwe, that we really have rivers, but they are rivers without water. Why? Because after rain, okay, and the rivers would just that make the water flow to Mozambique, right? Because Zimbabwe is on a higher land, so it was a tragedy that we have water. No, no, we have no water, although we have the rivers. Okay, Zimbabwe is big country, and therefore we have a lot of wild animals, right? Okay, so we have a lot of animals, which means that they needed to consume water, right? And people have to consume water, and the livestock and animals will also need water. So it is really dangerous for people when they are ready to get water because some of the people when they get attacked by, for example, crocodiles or hippos, right? Because they think they are invaded, their land were invaded by human beings. So in Zimbabwe, we have crocodiles, and we have hippos, and we have lions, and we have elephants. Of course, the elephant also need water. Well, so people who suffer the attack by elephants will never survive. Can you imagine that? Okay, so we even like open classes on how to protect yourself as you were attacked by an elephant. Okay, so you know how to how to prevent from the attack from elephant. The answer is that you have to turn 90 degrees, okay, away from the elephant because elephant are pretty big in volume. So if a elephant want to move, want to turn right or turn left, it is more difficult for them, so that you will have more time to run away. Okay. So in this picture, you will see that they just get a dirty water. Okay. Yeah, they are horrible, right? Okay. You know, when they just get water and they will have to purify the water. And when I say purification, let me tell you, this is a very impossible there. So they will get sick drinking such water, of course, right? And luckily, since like 2013 to last year, and we have already dug 3,180 wells in Zimbabwe, and we are continuing doing that. Okay, and as I know now, we have been digging for 3,200 wells. Okay, and if we say that a well could be served water for 1,000 people, so 3,180 wells could just serve well, okay, more than 32, I mean 320,000 people. Okay, and we are doing this, because we know that the more people need water. And not only that, we also just do the repair of the wells in Zimbabwe because we had a big problem. Okay, cholera. Cholera is a really severe disease that may deprive the people of their lives, right? Okay, so we really got hurt because we need more volunteers to just dig well for people to have a clean water. And because the trip of Lin Yu to Zimbabwe, and she therefore made a presentation to Mr. Chen Yan about how Zimbabwe is, right? Okay, and therefore in Zimbabwe we receive like a two, like a digging like a machines, right? Therefore in our country Zimbabwe, okay, and there comes, the okay, problem here. Okay, we really have no idea how to maintain a big devices there. Although it is kind of good news for us to receive such a machine. Okay, to dig wells in Zimbabwe. And we promise that we will just dig 1,000 new wells in Zimbabwe. Okay, and it is really kind of a bad thing that such machine is parked just in Zimbabwe. We couldn't use it, and we just still try the traditional methods that we dig well, and we do our best to like clean water for people in Zimbabwe.
哦，也真的不顾形象哈。
So we
还有
really
男孩子们
care
不再因为缺水而缺
our
课，在
like
津巴
like
威呢，
the
因为学
lack
校呢，
of
它有需要
laborers,
水，
right? And
所
we
以
just
他常常
continue
就说，
doing whatever
一
we
个年级
can,
每一天
okay?
最
And
少5到6
whenever,
年级一定要
people
去取
see
水，
the
那取
well,
水基本
okay,
上大概
and
是
they are so happy,
一
and
年
when
年增
they
的时候呢，大
see
概
the
是5公
water
公
just,
里哈，那5公里这些小
splashing
朋友
from the
去了
wells,
回来，
and they are
基本
even
上
more
可以超过3
excited,
个小时，
and they
那你
danced
再也不
and
用读书了。
they
我
really
相
talk
信
like
家长
actively
呢，
and
当然不愿意说，我
excitedly.
送我的
Okay,
小孩
there.
到学校
Okay,
的时候，可是这
so
一天可能因为
how
缺水
much
的时候呢，那没有办法送去。
happiness
所
they
以
get
当我们
if
调整
they
车
could
辆的时
see
候，我们大概就
more
说，我
wells
们
with
就
more
第一个先
waters
是
with their
要向
more
学校
appearing from
找
their
水，那
eyes,
小
right?
朋友就
Okay,
不用说因为缺水而缺
okay,
课。那第
and
二个重点就是说，我们
children,
会
the
针对
children also
医
need
疗
water
还有
in
诊所，
school, right?
那时目前
And
为止最要着手的
hospitals
地
need
方呢，就
water.
是以这些
So it
三
is
个
kind of a big task
担
for
任最
us,
主
right?
要的。
Because
那
we
因为
need
记
more
得
wells. And water is the note whatever is known as kids at schools need, need water, children need water as well. Water
可能大家
human
想象不
beings
到，
cannot
找井
survive.
跟
Right?
修井
I
有
think
什么
it is
差别？非常
difficult
家人
for
们知道，
you to
找井
imagine the difference between digging wells and the repairing wells. Okay, they are so different.
Well, the broken wheel, you cannot fix it, cannot have the possibility to fix it. So they are very expected to have a new well and nice well to use. When they feel, when the villagers, they will expect the well be fixed. And when we fixing the broken wheel, we spend 19 hours to fix it. Now we only need 6 hours to fix the broken wheel. So all the villagers are very thankful for Tsuji's help and thank for some Master Zheng Yuan's gratitude let the Zimbabwe knew um, how to collect the water. We don't have to face the dangers, and you don't walk very far away to collect the water. And they don't face the danger of wildlife. And probably we cannot face the unpredicted dangers. And when we don't have the water, lacking of water, all wild animal and the human all need it. And because of lacking the water, oh, because of lacking of water, we need to do that. Need to collect in the water. And now we have another project. It's a warm meals. Food station project is very important. Now we have a 5 province to collecting all the um, food, and we have one 17 million people with to provide the food, the grains, the powder, the cornmeal, the rice to them. When you see the pictures, you get many people come around to the scene to get the food, and you can generally with one scene, one side, we have 300 people to come over. Now, before Gigi come over, all the residents and villagers they collect the beetles for their food, and because their food and many areas will probably have the ants for their food. So you will feel amazing that unbelievable. They will eat the insects and the food for that. So we deliver the food to the warm meals to the villagers. They were very, very happy. When we deliver the rice to the villager, they will They will mix up with the salt and oil to fry it. So they're very happy to have the meals. So it's very difficult for them to have the meals and to get enough food. So from now, for 2013, so we provided food for 54 station, about 10,700, 7,000 people, 17,000 people for food. All the villagers, all the volunteers provide 1,200 food for the villagers. And because we have a lot of people, sometimes the kids will get missed. Um, so the kids were walking around the station. So from the picture, you can see the volunteer hang up the kids and broadcast to find the parents. And because kids are very happy, want to see the parents, the mommy. And our volunteer will hand the kids, hey, hey, whose kids, please come over to collect the kids. And we can see the lunchbox in the kid's head. And thank for the vice president come to Zimbabwe to take a visit. So that's why the vice president give us to give the food to the villagers. And we have set up the table, put the food on table. Sorry. And so we'll water well project. This year we are going to main focus on the hospital, the clinic, and the school. So we are going to have a well drilling and cooperate with the government, knowing the land, and we will know how to find a good well for the resident, and we won't provide any damage to the motherland. And now we provide the hot meal. We also providing the Jinsi aphorism to uh, to learn in this. We learn a lot of 自己 humanistic culture, and we bring a lot of things back to Zimbabwe. And also, we want to locate it all the thing we learned from this trip. And thank for this opportunity to come here to share with everybody online and here at Saint. And thank for and Zili come over to share with at the end. And I've already come over and we have a sharing, very big, nice sharing. And can you deliver this? Mm. Now we have all it thanking card to all the presenters, speakers. Thank you for all your sharing. And we have all the movies and the video of the broadcast online. And Zhu Jincai brother shared this with us. And he's a big well drilling fixer and let the others and then provide a new thing, new hope to the Zimbabwe. At the end, we're going to sing the song together. Uh, and please prepare for it. We're going to sister make the song and please sing later with for us. We'll continue. We didn't stop for the making the good thing and good benefit for the Zimbabwe. And this is Zimbabwe, 高雄方. And in the very lake of water, Zimbabwe, if we feed a bee, if we wild animals, you are probably very dangerous. And now we have a Jinsi aphorism to let's see all the cows and the lamb. They very quietly listen to the 慈济aphorism. And they deliver 5 cars for Jincai brother to do things, good things in Zimbabwe. And we can see the song One Night Thing. I see.
And here is kind of a wonderful touching thing that okay, us the like a 60th anniversary of Tzu and we really have a good chance to hear the new composed songs by Li Shouquan. And here we have a lot of like a good like accessories here to okay make us remember it is the 60th anniversary of Tzu, and it is really touching that a lot of people, like including painters and artists, okay, who just donate their works, right? But we don't have a lot of like works in here. Therefore, we decided to only send all the gifts out to like volunteers abroad. I'm sorry. Okay. So we have a lot of souvenirs and gifts, including handkerchiefs and I said, right, us like well gifts, to our overseas volunteers, right? Okay, and finally, I think it's your show time to sing a song. Okay, don't be afraid of singing because of Li Jianfu and Li Shouquan, right? Okay, so let's go.
这是台湾很久的一个民谣吧，哈。
It is a cradle like a song in Taiwan. Well, as the sky turned down, then we have to go out, right? Because we have to work and we have to bring the bacon home, and we also have to do the Tzu volunteers, right? Okay, and Mr. Zheng Yan and she said to us that we really have to behave ourselves and be diligent and be a compassionate Tzu volunteer. This is really wonderful. Okay, and that's the encore. Okay, and let's sing it one more time. And if you are okay and you know how to sing the song, you can just follow it up with us, right? Okay. Okay, and then Yi and I actually are from the chorus, like a group, right? So let's go. So in the early before dawn, we go outside, and the dark, night turns into bright sky. And in order to do good deeds, okay, we followed up the Tzu schools and the Dharma to do such things. And Mr. Zheng Yan hopes that we need to be compassionate and abide by all the precepts, and let's all be a compassionate Tzu volunteer. Thank you so much. So let's give everybody a big hand, right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I like to be with you because you have a positive energy. So with a positive energy, then we can really do all the good deeds, right? So let's take a quick